Hi guys, this is TK2, and this is a Warmachine battle report. It is a 50-point game between Shad3 and Bethayne. It's a game between a caster that I ran for Gen Con, and I've had several games with, although I'm still trying to figure him out. And Bethayne is a caster I've only played against 3 times, and it's always interesting. So let's get on into deployment. So before we get into deployment, I just want to say one thing real quick. I did something to my camera. I'm not quite too sure what, but this video came out more fuzzy looking than the other ones. So that's why if you notice anything different from the poor picture quality of the last ones to the poorer picture quality of this one. But anyway, deployment, I went first. The scenario is incoming, so that's the one where these things grant bonuses if you're light artillery and you brought that for some reason. If you're going this way, if you capture, if you control, if you dominate, there we go. If you dominate this one, that's a point. If you control this one, that's 1 point. If you dominate it, it's 2 points. And if you get your opponent's objective, this is also a point. So, deployment. Okay, so since I have first turn and I'm Crix, I'm going to explain mine first. So we have some Bane Riders, and Iacos, I do believe, is hiding right in there. And then this is a Scarlock. We have some Soul Hunters. Wrath is here, a Warwitch Siren, Night Wretch, and then you can't really see him because the Kraken has a big head. Oh, by the way, there's a Kraken. This is Shad3. So there's that. The reason I have Iacos with the Kraken is I saw this on the internet. This wasn't my idea. I figured I wanted to test it out. But normally you don't want to take Iacos with a Kraken because you can't make use of Infernal Machine. But when you have Iacos, you trade the mat buff for a strength buff. And the way that is because with Infernal Machine, a Kraken has a charge range or a threat range of 14 inches. Whereas with Escort, it has the same thing. The only thing that Infernal Machine gives you is +2 mat and terror. But since you don't have Infernal Machine on you, and Escort is not an upkeep on the Kraken, you can put Scything Touch on the Kraken. So he's now power and strength 20. And the reason why it's not too bad that you are now only mat 6 instead of being mat 8 is because Shad3's feet allows you to make anything you want stationary. Well, if it's immune to cold. But he can pretty much make anything important stationary that the Kraken can then go up and auto hit. The Kraken doesn't care if he's mat 6 or 8 if he's auto hitting. Pro tip of the day: if you're going up against a caster who's stationary, and you have critical corrosion on your weapons, like Scything Touch gives you, don't roll for it and try and get the critical. That way they can be stationary and corroded. And if you had a Black Bane hit them on fire. Because you could get a critical miss, double ones, and then since you rolled the dice, that supersedes the auto hitting, and then you miss, and then you lose the game because of that. So not that I have any experience with that. Let me explain my opponent's deployment. Okay, so he has the Black Frost Shard. He has Cuddles. Here's a pot. Then this is the Hex Hunters with the solo in here. I want to just say this one's a solo. I can't really remember. I have no idea what this model is. I'll find out later. There's too many wings for me to tell. This one right here is the Winged Beast that says they can charge for free. Actually, it's the lady on the Winged Beast that says they can charge for free. We have a Seraph here. There's an Angelius somewhere in this mess. Belthagor's in this mess. Bethayne's in this mess. Succubus is around here. Oh, this right here is a Forsaken. There's a Succubus in here, and there is also a Bloodseer right here. So my opponent does a really nice job painting, but from this distance, it kind of looks all like a big purple mess of models that ignore the rules. So let's get into first turn. I've played against Bethayne a couple of times, and what always happens is that these girls right here always take out my Kraken, just somehow. I don't know how they do it. It's just the feet boosted PAL 13s never work out. So it's I'm going to try and take them out first, and after that I'm going to try and take out the Angelius, because once the Angelius is gone, my Kraken can kind of have free reign. So that's what I'm hoping for. So what I'm going to do here is that the Soul Hunters are just going to run up into the forest and put stealth on them. And I'm thinking stealth because even though it's Legion, the Hex Hunters don't ignore stealth. So everyone's just going to run up. Soul Hunters are going to be in this nice forest that I spent a while putting all the trees in. Then I take all the trees out because that's just the way we roll. So they're going to be up there. They have occultation on them. And then just everything runs forward. I think I put no scything touch on the Kraken. Shade just walks up. He has all his focus in case he tries any shenanigans. Ayakos is escort on him. So he moves up with his Hex Hunters. He, I think, kills one Soul Hunter. He puts a lot of damage on a couple of them. Yeah, he kills one. And then his Bethayne moves up, slipstreams the Seraph, and I think she puts tenacity on a few things. Not the one the guy is pointing to, but that was good timing. This one right here, that's Bethayne. So don't look at this guy. Look right here. So that's Bethayne, just so everyone knows. You couldn't really see her in the beginning. That's Bethayne, and then I do believe this one right here is Belthacor. So FYI. So the Seraph moves up, and this is the part that I do not like, because Legion has no guns. No Legion beast, except for the ones that he doesn't have, are holding a gun, yet all of them can somehow shoot. I don't like it. I don't know how it happens, but it makes me mad because I always forget about it. Legion beasts, it's like all of them shoot. Even the Carnivean shoots. He has a range 10 spray. It's like the only one that doesn't is the Scythian, which is good, because if the Scythian had a gun, it'd probably be like a range 20, PAL 20 shot, just because they ignore the rules. Okay, so the Seraph goes up, shoots two guys off the board, and then after that, the Angelius, I do believe, moves up, shoots another guy off the board. The Soul Hunters are like, uh-oh, we have one left. Good thing we're playing with Shade, because he can bring our buddies back. Then he just kind of moves up with everyone else, puts tenacity on things, does typical Legion stuff, shifts all the way over to his zone to try and deny a flank, and then also sit in that zone and dominate it, which is a pretty good idea considering I have nothing over there, and if I were to move my Kraken up, he would just pounce on it with everything. So Black Frost Shard has harm. What I'm thinking is that I need to get more Soul Hunters back. Luckily, he cast a spell while in Shade's control area, so I get a free spell. Woo! Free Soul Hunter. But I gotta figure out how to get over there and prevent him from dominating his way to victory. But before I do that, I see something kind of interesting. This is the pot right here, and this is all of its attendants right next to the pot. And this guy right here has a 4-inch AoE. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I can put one shot there and then maybe boost some shots at, his beast. So that's my general plan. We're going to get out of there with the Soul Hunter, maybe hide behind the linear obstacle since it's the only thing Legion doesn't ignore, and then just run over there with the Bane Riders because we got to get to that zone because, since he's second player, I got to get over there because if I'm just like, fine, whatever, I'm going to sit in my zone and we can just dominate it out. He can just run one model over into my zone, contest it, and then he's up a point. Since he's a second player, it's like one of the only benefits second player has, but it forces me to come to him. So right now, he kind of has the initiative, which is not good. So, Shade is thinking, and I kind of derp around and think that Macriel's life costs 3 instead of 2, so I'm going to bring back 3 Soul Hunters this time around. Swap out for a unit leader because it matters. And then here we go. The Kraken is just going to scoot up once I figure out I'm going to do everything. He keeps occultation. Kraken scoots up, kills the pot. Kills the pot because, okay, so If you have a range 10 gun, you have a PAL 10 gun. If you have a range 11 gun, you have a PAL 11 gun. If you're like the Leviathan and you have a range 13 gun, you have a PAL 13 gun, right? Kraken, range 16, automatic answer, power 16. Kills the pot exactly. Next turn, it was only PAL 14. He should get his pot back. Sounds like we're in Colorado, but we're not. But to make up for it, I thought Mockery of Life the entire game cost 3. So he couldn't make guys, I couldn't make as many guys. It works out. There we go. So that happens. All the little guys get blasted out. And then I put some shots on the Seraph. Nothing too spectacular happens there. The horses run around. The Soul Hunter runs around 3 of his buddies because of Shad's magic hating pops up, and then everyone just kind of hides behind the Kraken. So here we go. He walks up. He kills a guy. He can kill a guy and still be important because he has reach. So normally if you have one left, you don't really want to risk charging up there, hitting him, and not being able to light cav away without taking a free strike. But because he has reach and the other guys don't have reach, he can just run in, just be in reach range, not melee range, or not 1/2 melee range, and hit him. If he misses, oh well, he can still light cav back. So if you're ever running out of Soul Hunters, just remember that you can still attack with them before you make everyone back through Mockery of Life or Shade 2's feet or something like that. But you just don't go into non-reach range because then you can't get away. So the Night Wretch moves up to stay safe because the threat of a siphoning bolt assassination is always present, and it's always good to have at least one of those threats. I make some dudes. The Warwitch Siren runs around. Scarlock runs around, Iacos runs around, Wrath runs around, and I pretty much end up facing him again. We're just on angles. I'm like facing him head on again. We're just on angles. So his turn happens. I don't think he feats this turn. I can't remember. But Belthagor moves up, puts down a cloud, because Abby's just going to hide behind it and dominate. She casts some things. I think she maybe puts damage on one. Yeah, she kills one. Then the Hex Hunters charge in, and they try and kill some things, but they can't, which is good because then they can't battle mage. Cuddles charges in, and this is another side effect of messing up my camera. This movie's in 3 parts. So, on to the next part. So here's the next part. He puts his Cuddles down, he attacks a Bane Rider, he kills a Bane Rider. He then battle mages onto the Kraken with his whatever spell it is. It's like the mini eruption of spines. And he tries to kill Wrath, but he can't because Wrath is a badass. Black Frost Shard moves up, harms the Kraken, tries to shoot some other things. Oh, look, the Soul Hunters have stealth, so that's awesome. Saved him there. Actually, we forgot about stealth. He just missed. Then the Bloodseer moved up, and he tried to kill a Soul Hunter, and he couldn't because of the wall. And then I do believe the Angelius charges. Oh no, Seraph slipstreams Angelius charges, goes to do his POW 16 armor piercing shot after the Seraph shoots some guys and puts some damage on some Bane Riders or something like that. It wasn't consequential. Hits with his POW 16, realizes, I'm out of control range. So great job there. Kraken lived. Everyone just moves up, and now it's a big jam. So now it's my turn. I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be interesting. Right here is pretty easy because these guys can just trade here, and then he can come pick off a Hex Hunter or the Angelius if need be. But this is what I was talking about beforehand in the beginning, is that Shade can just use this Soul Hunter right here to make the Angelius stationary. Then once it's stationary, the Scarlock can come up, put Siphoning Touch on the Kraken, Kraken can eat Ingelius and then kill shot into something. And let's see. Soul Hunters go, I believe, and they try and kill some Hex Hunters. Oh no, I'm asking questions. It's always good to ask all the questions you can beforehand, because then you're not surprised. Like, one of the biggest things is, can I cast spells at this guy? Or if I'm near this other guy, can I cast spells at him? Or around him, because there's sometimes guys have like no spells within 10 inches, and then you forget, and then you move within 10 inches and you can't cast spells and you just lost. So always ask all the questions you can. Bane Riders come up, get the Black Frost Shard, or a good chunk of them, try and decide what to do with the last one. He goes and he gets the other Hex Hunter. I think they get all but one of the Black Frost Shard, yeah. And then he gets the Hex Hunter too, because Bane Cav are awesome. And then the Soul Hunters. I'm trying to figure out where to place the Soul Hunter right now, because I can place them in a couple spots, and this is where I realized that the Kraken is bonkers. The Kraken was nice before, the Kraken is bonkers now, because what I was thinking is that I can take this one here and come up here and then be on him and make this Ingelius stationary. But in doing that, I make this guy stationary too, which I don't really quite want to do. And then I realize I don't have to be over there. I can be right here. I can't move this guy over because these two right here are like at max non-reach range. So if I move over the little bit I need to move over, then it doesn't work out. He can't freeze him. But this one can move here and then be within 3-inch AoE of the Ingelius and of the Kraken. And the reason why this is nice is because if Shade feasts on the Kraken, oh no, you can't make the Kraken stationary. So you still make the thing engaging the Kraken stationary, and the Kraken's like, haha, I'm gonna eat you now, which is nice. So if you had another Jack, like let's say Death Jack, and you move up a Soul Hunter and you make the Ingelius stationary and you accidentally tag Death Jack, well, you can't really do too much about that. And then Ingelius unfreezes next turn and then auto hits Death Jack. The Kraken, it doesn't have that problem. So that's a neat little tip right there I learned this game. Is that the Kraken is just awesome. He's bonkers. So Soul Hunters are going to walk around, try and get some dudes. The Soul Hunter that I'm fiddling with now actually hits a dude, takes his soul, boosts on the other guy, hits him, takes his soul too. So he had one soul on him to begin with, and he finished with one soul. That other Soul Hunter hits the Ingelius. I don't think he did any damage, but this is what I'm going to talk. This is what I was talking about now. Is that Shade goes, I believe. Maybe Warwitch Siren is a hero here. Oh yeah, she's totally a hero. She walks up and venoms that sucker like no one else's business. So blam, gone Black Frost Shard. Okay, now Shade goes, and he only ults the one thing. He only ults the, or not ults, my bad, wrong game. He only goes after this guy and just makes this stationary. But that's all you need. So he's going to do that once I remember what I'm doing. There we go. The little chicken's being safe, because again, having it for that late game threat is just awesome. So Shade now made a guy, so I know I'm activating him. There he goes. Walks in, makes that stationary. I think he sits on some focus just to be safe. And then, yeah, he sits on 2 focus because he makes another one because Mockery of Life costs 3. And then the Kraken moves to block everyone, and the Kraken eats the Ingelius. He does a lot of damage. He, I think, got boxcars right there. And yeah, he ate the Ingelius in 2 hits, which was awesome. Kill shots into the lady on the little flying dude. Kills her. Kraken's like, whew, I'm awesome. Everyone now just piles in behind the Kraken because it's safe there. This is where I realized that it's not POW 16, it's POW 14. So he gets her back with like 2 health left. So now everything just hides behind the Kraken, and Legion players will know what's going to happen next. But everyone hides behind the Kraken, and then I pass the turn to him. So everything he reaves. He's not happy because he traded the Ingelius and the Black Frost Shard for really nothing. but he's really happy right now. So this might be when he feeded, actually. I can't really remember what. But Iacos is standing nice and close to the Kraken, which is something I need to get better about. Belthgor runs, so he can be an Arc Node. He has Tenacity on him from Succubus. Bethayne walks up, arcs something at that Soul Hunter, and gets it. Then the something else. Okay, so he just does a whole bunch of stuff to clear the way for what we're getting at here. Oh, he cleared off the Soul Hunters too, which was really nice. And then he did some damage to the objective. Well, it was nice for him, not for me. I think the objective has 5 boxes left. Okay, so now the Winged Woman goes. Nope, Cuddles is going. Cuddles is killing stuff. Cuddles shot. I'm not sure what just killed that Bane Rider. I think it was a Hex Hunter. So Cuddles moves over. He eats all the Bane Riders. That one Bane Rider on the end there that's corroded, it acts like a champ. And this was him, baby Eruption of Spines onto the Kraken, dehorses Dara, who turns into Gorman, doesn't get Iacos, and then he's out of reach for the Warwitch Siren, gets the other Bane Rider, and then he doesn't get the last one, which is awesome. He has like 1 hitbox left. And end of part 2. Okay, so this is where I just love Bane Riders. So the little Shredder goes rabid, and he's like, I'm gonna get me a Bane Rider. Goes rabid, walks around, puts Tenacity on something for free because he did pop feet this turn. Goes rabid, tries to eat Bane Rider. No, you don't. You're not that great because Bane Riders are better than you. Then his Bloodseer is like, okay, I gotta go do this. So, the Forsaken goes. The Forsaken tries to get it because the Forsaken can use all the focus and fury to buy attacks. Forsaken doesn't get it done. Bane Rider armor. Yay, tough cricks. Then the Bloodseer is like, okay, I gotta do this because I gotta remove the last Bane Rider because then he can't recursion them anymore. So he comes up and then he finally takes out the last Bane Rider because he can actually boost a hit, boost damage. And it only had 1 box on him. But that was a lot of resources going into that one model. Okay, so now the Winged Woman comes up and she just sprays. And I'm like, uh-oh, goodbye Iacos, goodbye my caster, goodbye Scarlock. But that's not what happens. He rolls bonkers on the Kraken instead, kills Iacos, doesn't do that much damage to Goreshade. And I think the Seraph... Oh, no, the Seraph went crazy. The Seraph went crazy this turn. And so now is the end of his turn. Okay, so here is the current state of things. My Kraken, the thing that's going to win me the game, is currently deactivated. I have 1 Arc Node. I have Gorman, who's really Wrath. I have my Caster. I have a Warwitch Siren. And I have a Scarlock. And he has the Winged Woman, who does a lot of damage. He has a Seraph. And he has, like, I guess that's a medium beast. And he still has his Battle Engine left. With a whole bunch of Hex Hunters. And his Caster that still does a lot of damage because it's a Spell Slinger. So I'm like, uh-oh. I have 1, 2, 3 support pieces. A dead Jack, or a deactivated Jack, my bad. And an Arc Node. And then Shade. Shade's tough, but he already used his feet, so he can't be that tough. And so I'm thinking, we gotta do something extra special here, because when you're out of good stuff to do, you do the stupid stuff, and you hope it works, because that's your last chance. So here we go. I count out all my focus. I realize I might have just enough. I drop Scything Touch. Deactivated Kraken doesn't need that. I measure something. I'm thinking, oh man, could it be true? It looks like it's true. Bethayne's on 0 Fury. I have Siphoning Bolt. She's on 1 Fury, my bad. I have Siphoning Bolt, so it might as well be 0 Fury. The only problem is that there's 2 dudes in the way. The chicken can't get through there without some sort of free strike. So give the chicken 1 and hope for the best. This is, oh my god, I love this model so much. I gave her a better paint job recently, so she earned it. So here we go. Warwitch Siren comes up. Warwitch Siren, spray. Warwitch Siren then picks off the one model, both of the models that needed it. Scarlock comes over, Infernal Machine, Chicken knock over, Chicken stand back up, Chicken walk to be within range of Bethayne. Goreshade goes, Goreshade, Scything bolts Bethayne. Bethayne goes, oh no, I just lost, and Goreshade wins. So, woo! Warwitch Siren for the win. It was great. What my opponent realized afterwards is that, well, besides me cheating him with the POW 16s, but I was cheating myself with the cost 3 Mockery of Lives, is that this guy right here could have done his no magic bubble within 5. And this is why I said that earlier. Always make sure you know where you can't cast magic as cricks. It's so important. However, he didn't do the magic bubble because he had to cast something else in order to get the Bane Rider here. So this Bane Rider kind of saved me, because if that Bane Rider didn't go down to the Shredder and the Forsaken, this one might have been someplace else. But let's say that the Bane Rider did go down and he was still there. I still could have taken care of one of those, because if you remember, there was 2 Hex Hunters here. I only need to get one. I could have still gotten the other one because Wrath could have come around here and zapped one of them. It would have been far more riskier, but that was pretty much the only course of action I had. So yeah, it was a good game. I like playing against Bethayne. I usually do okay against her until she pulls out some crazy magical thing. That happened this game too, and that's how I lost Iacos. So always keep Iacos 8 inches away from the Kraken. Good tip. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below, hit the like button, and have a nice day.